Hey, it's Capt Logos here. Had a thought about the manger this morning. Never heard this before, so don't know if it's an original thought, but hey, I've never heard it. But I don't think it's ironic that Jesus was born in a manger. I think that was the absolute perfect place for Jesus to be born. So here you have Mary and Joseph, they're traveling along. They can't, they have to stop on the way in their journey back to pay their taxes, of all things. You gotta love taxes. But they're on the way, and she goes to give birth. And all the houses that would normally take in people in that time are filled because everybody's traveling. Everybody's paying their taxes. And so they have to stay out in the manger. Now, if you know anything about the culture of that time, it was nothing more than probably the bottom of the house, because the first floor of their houses is where they kept their animals, and they lived on the second, third floor. And you notice a lot of times you'll hear references to them being on the roof. That's sort of where they went out at night and sat around and talked. So this may have just been the first floor of a house, in all reality. Incidentally, when I was in Saudi, I stayed in a place that was actually for the military. The King Fahd actually made it for the Bedouins, but they didn't sleep inside. They slept outside in their tents, and they put the animals inside. So then finally they moved on, and then they ended up selling it to the military and renting it out to the military, so that it ended up being our place to stay. So I've actually stayed where the animals stayed. But think about this thought for a second. Jesus was born in the midst of the very animals who up until that point were the sacrifices for sin, for guilt, and for all that stuff, all the different sacrifices and all the animals of the Old Testament. Some of those animals, I'm sure, were in that manger, because I'm pretty sure there were probably some sheep and some goat there. Now, depending on how rich they were, they may not have a ram and a bull, or they might have. But think about this, that Jesus the Savior, the sacrifice for sin, was born in the midst of the things that were the forerunners to sacrificing sin. He was born in the midst of the animals that were previously the sacrifices for sin, and now Jesus fulfills that, being born in the midst of the animals in that manger. Now, we'll get your face in the Bible.